Bridgitte, we're here at the Marathon World Championships. How's your preparation coming into it?
Well, so far I feel pretty good actually. I got really ill after my Sprint World Championships in Russia, so I was actually worried I wasn't even going to be on the start line, but I managed to train, I think, enough leading up to it now. I think maybe if I had started too early it would have been too much training maybe, so we'll just have to see how it goes.
You're known for being exceptionally quick. How are you going to compete in the Marathon Championships?
Well, I think one lucky thing is in South Africa we have a weekly 10k time trial, 8 to 10 kilometers, and it's always such a fight to try and find a bunch on the men's wave and always trying to go around small little laps of about 2 kilometers only. So I think it's a challenge for me because it's something that I do enjoy back home, but it's a very different to the sprint race that I'm used to, which is more planned and I have a set race plan and everything usually goes according to the race plan, whereas this it's very changeable, so it's going to be a lot more of a challenge, but it'll be exciting as well.
Last year was a difficult year. This year you've managed to get a bronze in the K1 500. What do you expect to achieve here?
Well, at marathons, I think, like I said, I think it's just going to take it as a challenge, and I'd love to be on that front bunch and then just see what happens. But so I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself because there's some really strong girls here, and a lot of them are really quick as well. So it's not about how fast you are off the start, it's about how fast you are at the finish and how fast you are in the middle sections and the portages as well. So there's many things that play a part in the marathon race, and I think that's what makes it such a challenge.
I've been watching the junior races this morning. Everyone seems to have a different tactic coming into the portage. They seem to pick their boat up in a different way. How do you do it?
Well, I actually quite like putting it on my shoulder, but that's maybe a South African thing because I feel like then I'm putting less pressure on my arms and I can run better with it on my shoulder. But that's possibly from the river races that I'm used to that. But I think it all depends on where you are in the takeout, because if you're in a spot where you're comfortable to take out, then you can quickly run, then you're fine. Whereas if you're in a place where you're boxed in, then it's a little bit more of a challenge. So I think it just depends where you are in the group or where you put yourself in the group as to how easy or hard the takeout is for you.
In South Africa, marathon is a huge sport. Why is that?
Well, I think it definitely comes from the fact that we have clubs that have weekly time trials in this sort of manner. Like, you don't have the portage necessarily, but when it comes to doozy time, you definitely have some clubs that change their weekly 10k time trial to a time trial with 2 portages as well. So then you're doing exactly the marathon format. And then we have a very long river season and quite a few surf ski races. So everyone in South Africa is training for marathons pretty much most of the year. So the sprinting is quite small in South Africa compared to the marathon. So I think that's what makes our nation so good at it.
Next year is going to be a huge year for you, Olympic qualification. What are you going to do from now until then to Milan to prepare?
Well, I'll have a little bit of a rest now, and then I'll definitely put my head down and focus everything morning, night, eat, sleep, think about sprinting and put all my energy and focus into that race eventually at World Champs in Milan next year.
You're known for controlling everything in your training. You train on your own, I believe. Why is that?
Well, I've actually trained a lot on my own because I had an international coach, and so I didn't often, if I had to find good training partners, I had to go to Europe. So I've had a lot of training camps with Europeans, so I don't train as often alone as what I used to because I know that I need that intensity in the training as well. But it's more just that I haven't had a coach in South Africa who's been with me at my side every single training session, and that's why I've done a lot of sessions by myself. But I try to join the junior boys and other groups every now and then when I can.
Well, we wish you luck tomorrow and we hope to see you on the podium.
Thank you so much.